What's up, you guys? It is Mike, the real United States champion here, and welcome to 24 days of reviews. This is day number 24. We're on Christmas Eve, and today we are going to be taking a look at Eddie Guerrero for the final review. And what can I say about Eddie Guerrero? I mean, how can you not be a wrestling fan and not be a fan of Latino Heat? Everything this guy did was perfect, and I consider him to be the one of the best wrestlers of all time. I'm sure that many of you would agree with me on this. And it's a shame that we lost him pretty early, I would say. He only died at 38 years old. I still feel like he had a lot more years left in him. So it's really a shame that we lost him as early as we did. But everything that Eddie had done, especially from 2003 to 2005, was amazing to watch. Just him winning the title from Lesnar and just seeing all the crazy antics that Latino Heat would do back in the day. It was always really fun. So because Eddie is one of my favorite wrestlers, I made the decision to look at him today for the very last day of this series. So I chose this one, and in my opinion, this is actually one of my favorite Elite figures, just because it looks so damn good. And I think you all like this one as well. So let's take a closer look at Eddie Guerrero. Now, let's go over articulation first, because that's usually how it works. So the head, it moves side to side, and it moves up and down. The arms move outwards and upwards. It can move at the bicep, move the elbow, swivel the wrist, and hand movement. He has the ab crunch, of course, because he's an elite. Has the waist articulation. Legs move outwards and upwards. Again, it's an elite, pretty wide range. Has the thigh articulation. Has a double jointed knee. You can move the entire boot, and you can move at the ankle as well. Alright, now let's get a closer look here at Eddie. As you can see, I think this looks great. This scan looks fantastic. I love the expression they gave him as well. It pretty much looks like he's about to do something dastardly in the middle of the ring, like he's about to cheat or lie or whatever. Just a classic look for Eddie, so it looks really good. And this is, of course, supposed to represent 2004, when he actually beat Lesnar for the championship at No Way Out. So I think his likeness is pretty good, especially spot on. There's his tattoo that he got on his forearm right there. So I'm glad that they included that. Because I feel like sometimes... This was mostly on Jack's figures, though. They didn't include the tattoo there. So glad that they got it here. I don't think Mattel would ever miss a beat on that. They also include the white wrist tape, which he would always wear. And I think his build looks good. He always had a pretty fit look, I suppose. He always looks like he was in great shape. So I think his body looks great as well. One thing to definitely talk about, though, is his attire. Really love the attire. And this figure stands out to me especially because it's the color red. I love red. And Eddie looks great in red especially. I also love the combination of colors that they had here. Like, they had mixes of green in there. So you can see it says Latino on the back and it has green there. So, yeah, really cool designs that they had on there. And it just looks great with the red as well. So some really cool designs going on here. And then, of course, his signature flaming boots. I don't recall them being this orange. I may have to look back at the attire itself, but it still looks pretty good. Again, it helps the figures stand out. I feel like they might be too orange, though, if I had to be just a little nitpicky. But don't quote me on that. I could be wrong on that. But still, I think the attire as a whole looks great, and it looks like Eddie Guerrero. It looks like just picture Eddie Guerrero in your mind, and this is a pretty good look for Eddie in particular. And then, of course, he came with the Undisputed Championship, which is okay. I feel like they've done better belts than this. For one thing, the belt isn't like, a shiny plastic. It's really just solid. So that's kind of unfortunate, but there is some detail in there, as you can see. It's the Undisputed Championship. I just wish that it had a little more shiny material, like for, if you don't want to know what I mean, something like this, like with the United States Championship, where it looks like actual gold. This just looks like solid plastic, so kind of a bummer there, but it's still cool. It looks good on him as well, especially knowing that Eddie was holding this title at one point. So you can definitely display Eddie like that. Alright guys, and that will just about wrap up this series of 24 days of reviews. I really hope that you've all enjoyed this series. I figured that this was a good way to put out some more content for you guys, and also show off some figures that, I'm into, such as this Eddie Guerrero or any other figures that I reviewed. So yeah, I've had a fun time doing this, just looking at some figures from the past and the present. And who knows, maybe I'll do something like this again in the future. So I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch this series, or if you're just starting on this one video or whatever, even then I appreciate you watching. And yeah, that's all about all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas, because today is Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas. Hope you have a happy holiday, Happy New Year, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, those things, people usually celebrate. Actually, Hanukkah passed at this point. Well, anyway, yeah, hope you enjoy whatever you celebrate, and that's all I got. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.